We go. I do live. Last time on the farm. So say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me. Seriously. What an experience it's been. How many lessons have we learned in this space? How many layers of growth have we added? How many roots have we established? Today's stream topic is about ensuring the most possible amount of love is had, right? Very much thinking about the dynamics of people coming together, right? Every single time we come together, technically we do so, at least in my mind, for love, right? Like we are trying to ensure that the most possible amount of love is felt. And then we get at it in different ways, right? Sometimes we watch movies together, sometimes we have a meal together, sometimes we drink, sometimes we smoke weed, sometimes we this, sometimes we that. Always, we're trying to technically get at having the most loving experience together. And today's stream topic for me is about really acknowledging that that is actually what we're trying to do. Instead of seeing all of the things, the movies, the food, the substances, the gifts, the gestures of kindness, etc., instead of focusing on that part of the equation, bringing ourselves back to the basics and realizing that what we actually want is that love from one another. Had a conversation with mom and dad last night, really trying to like unburden my heart, communicate my mingle, if you will, and found myself in tears and articulating that I'm sad to leave because I didn't get to have the relationship with my family that I wanted to. Right? And my mom instantly understood what I mean. Right? Like she did understand where I was coming from. And then in communicating to my dad, with him not understanding what I mean, we literally, end up at the same place that is not having a relationship with one another, to say it in so many words, right? And it is this weird fractal of almost like cosmic giggle that since the thing we want when we're together is love, feeling the opposite of that last night makes it a little bit easier for me to move, right? And I'm not saying that love isn't any less true, but it's interesting to me how we can use this power to seek love as a togetherness in reverse to drive ourselves away from one another as well. So, again, thank you for finding yourself here, for coming together. I don't feel enough of that right now. Let me in. Love is true. Hey, all, this seems like an important place to be today. Thank you, Brother Ryan, for being here with us. It's the last one. It's the last stream on this farm, for a while at least. Right? It's gonna be a while before we come back. I'm gonna give you friends that scene of the beautiful clouds, and I'm gonna go get my tablet real quickly. I left it. Exemplaries. I am returning to the camera now. There we go. Back again. I am feeling emotional. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm feeling expressive. I'm feeling the lack of expressiveness, right? At the same time as well, I feel somewhat stuck in my own mind and whatever I'm supposed to be feeling. Am I feeling your sadness today? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. I wouldn't put it past us. I like my freaking microphones on my earphones stopped working for my yoga even. So maybe they're feeling the energies as well. I'm gonna take out some of my Miram Jamwanas. I think we're gonna do lemon pudding today. It's a little bit strong. Like it usually kind of devastates me, but c'est la vie. That's how it needs to be today. Like I wish. No, I don't wish. Yesterday's stream topic was about wishing. You know what? I'll read yesterday's stream's poem. You know, I couldn't finish it as well as I wanted to, but I still feel like it turned out the way it needed to. Right? Light, warmth, the very dirt we're on, so full of energy. It's everywhere and all around, yet still we find ourselves lacking. How we wish, pray, hope, and long for that energy to come, forgetting all along that we are the ones that allow. Energy flows, it doesn't arrive. You have to show up for what you love. The universe will give you what you need. If you feel trapped, she'll set you free. She'll see you free. This is the way I typed the second time, but yeah, I ought not wish for it to be differently. And again, and I said this a little bit, vaguely, but I'll say it again. It very much feels like almost a joke, right? That things have to be less than ideal, less than perfect, right? In the perfect that I want to be experiencing. And because it is so, it's easier for me to go, right? Which might be exactly what I need right now. Maybe I do need a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of push, a little bit of, okay, I am ready kind of vibes, right? All right. Let me see if I'm on all messages. I am. That is some nice lemon scented Maram Water buds. Main sadness. Sadness, huh? Sadness looks differently for different people. Sadness looks like angry for me, unfortunately. Sadness looks like irritability. Sadness looks like the lack of patience. Sadness looks like intolerance, even as well. That should be it. The more I enjoy, the less there is to be enjoyed. Yeah, that should be fine. Man, I've been getting wrecked by hay fever as well. So my nose has been bothering me, to say it in so many words. Some reason I feel so scattered. Did you start packing yet? Don't forget towels. I did. I did start packing, Joy Vive. Most of my stuff is packed. I mean, yeah, most of my stuff is packed. Maybe nothing needs to be said, right? Maybe we just need to feel into the love. Maybe I'm supposed to like live that kind of fractal on the other side. Maybe there's nothing I can do. I'm sure I'll start talking very soon. All right. Hermias? Hermias Plur haven't been packed yet, but I have packed so many things. I like that bin of mine. That's going to be my clothing bin. That thing has been getting stacked. Crystals and boxes and bottles and yeah, scissors and wires and like that box. That box is like a mystery package. You know, if somebody had to get it, love you. I also spent a lot of time painstakingly cleaning my things, my keyboard and my mouse and my computer box and my monitor. Everything has been getting an extra vigilant amount of attention. I can feel the sense of like death kind of happening in me, right? Like a version of me is dying alongside this move. Maybe that's the sadness we all can maybe a little bit feel, right? It's okay to mourn, you know, the death of an age, the death of an era. Things do change. Make sure your fragiles are packed separately and marked so no one gets rough with them during transit or whatever. I don't have fragiles, really. Like all of the fragiles, if there are any, are going to be in that box, so they'll be safe. The real fragiles are my electronics, my computer, my monitor. That's like numero uno fragile, right? If anything was in my mind fragile, it would be my monitor. But I have like polystyrene on all of the corners, right around, you know, and then it's wrapped in a blanket. Then it's put stand down onto another soft thing, and then that soft thing is on my computer box, which is also wrapped in a blanket with a pillow underneath it to kind of help with the cushioning. Graphics card on its slot instead of being against its slot. So I'm like trying to take all of the precautions. Love is true. It's not goodbye. It's see you later to the cows. Maybe, maybe, bruh. Like there are just things that are said, man, that kind of like mess with my brain a little bit. You know, with this whole experience I had, one of the things that my dad told me this morning is that the rest of the family have long decided that it's time for me to go, right? And he was the one who fought for me to stay here, my dad says, right? And I don't know what that's supposed to tell me, you know, how I'm supposed to feel about that. But the way I'm taking it is, again, an excitement of moving. For the sheer fact that I know I'm not that bad, am I? Honestly, like, please be honest with me. Am I that bad? Like, there were two states of being. There was me trying to share with my family, and then me self isolating. And apparently, the me trying to share with my family is the version of me they want to leave. All right, and that really fucks with me a little bit. But so it is. Fortunately, they're getting their wish. You know, manifestation is real after all. Love is true. I am vaping this little bit of bud. I am going to absorb the medicine, the limonene, with the intention of calming, with the intention of letting go of old states of being, with the intention of forgiving and releasing, acknowledging that nobody can ever do me wrong. It's up to me to interpret. Love is true. Holy shit, what did I slip into? Trouble with his feelings, so he's projecting again. I mean, yeah, maybe like we were both doing that, Duck Dad. And I say maybe as in we were probably 100% one time just doing that. I see John is here too. Hey, John. John gave me a call a little bit earlier today, checking in on me if I'm packing. It's nice seeing you, dude. It's nice having you here too, Zano. Bless you. I got in late. Did he mention what happened? No, just like we were sitting on the couch, and then, you know, I started talking about the fact that I'm leaving, right? And how I am sad about it. I am sad about leaving, right? And then my dad goes, "Why are you sad?" And I go, "Because we didn't get to have the relationship I believe we could have," right? Today's dream topic. Like, there was so much good possible. There was so much connection. There was so much joy in sharing with one another. possible, available to us. And we lost all of that because of our own egos, because of our own unwillingness to meet each other halfway, etc., etc. Right? And in sharing that, my dad didn't take it well, you know, and ironically, literally, my point was proven. Right? It was like, Dad, you've been doing this thing that makes us not have a relationship, and then you proceeded to do the thing, and then our relationship proceeded to now be worse again because of it, right? Where it was this conversation of why haven't we had a relationship with one another? And then he articulates, I think you're on a good path. I just don't think you're on the right path. And I go, what does that mean, dude? That's paradoxical, bro. Like, if you're on the good path, that is the right path, surely, right? And it kind of like fell apart from this perspective of, you know, what I believe that even though I'm trying to live a good life, I'm on the wrong path because I believe I'm God. I believe you're God as well, and I believe the tree is God, and I believe the grass is God. Like, I believe that, right? And then my dad brings that up as the reason we couldn't have had a relationship this whole time because I believe this, right? And he's not going to tolerate someone who believes such things. And I go like, Dad, do you realize that that's not cool, right? Not having a relationship with your son, not tolerating him because he doesn't believe the same things you do is not cool. It's not very cool of you, dude. And yeah, in his mind, he's doing what's right by being his good Christian self and fighting the heathen. So the heathen is leaving. Nobody in that family wanted to see you go. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not true, Duck Dad. Apparently, right? Literally, my dad straight up telling me that that's literally not true. Like, quite the opposite. He told me this morning again that everybody wants to see me leave. All right. And he's the only one who fought to keep me here. Right. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Oh, nice. Thank you for letting me know that, Dad. That's very nice information to hear as I'm planning on leaving. Melty, brother, it's the overall reaction to a very real life-changing event that is going to affect everyone involved. Everyone is feeling the separation and they're expressing in their own way. I get it. I do. I do. Doesn't make the feelings any less suck. But love is true. Without further ado, I'm going to warm up this little vaporizer and then experience some of the medicines. Please, please, medicine, calm me down. Help me forgive. Help me relax. Give me some perspective. Mm. That is really nice. I'm getting the calm I asked for. This is like eating a lemon pudding. Bro, you're not losing family. You're gaining a new one. You're right, John. I don't think that's my problem, bro. It's just the relationship I know I can have with you, man, is available between me and my brother as well. But we couldn't have that. That's the thing that I'm bummed out about, man. I suffer wanting for things to be differently. You think I'd learn better by now. But no. No, I keep making the same mistakes. Goodness, I'm stupid sometimes, it seems. There might still be a little bit left in there, but I'll come back for seconds later. Yeah. Medicine has been at least slightly administered. I feel I feel a little more calm. Things are gonna be okay, right? Like I want to make that painfully clear. Things are gonna be so okay. It's just funny how we as human beings want things, right? Something that my dad articulated yesterday is that I want a relationship uh, on my terms. Is that the word he used? No, I want a certain kind of relationship. That's what he said to me, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do, right? Where my and my dad's relationship have been combative the last 3 years, right? At least from what you friends have heard. Sure, my dad is kind, right? Sure, my dad has brought a lot of love into my life, but that's like the exception. That's like the exception. 95% of the time, it's combat, right? And then that's the relationship we have with one another. And then I want something differently. I do. I do want something differently. Selfishly so, I guess, right? But that's the joke. That really is the joke. Is that as soon as we want for something that we can't have, that's when we really trip ourselves up. We get stuck, right? Literally get stuck to the point that you can't move, you can't think, you can't do anything going forward from that point on. Let me get back to chat. Actually, they don't have the same communication abilities that you have, or they just don't practice the art of gentle, balanced expression. Yeah, I do practice a lot, I guess. I've been getting better, which is nice to notice. When it comes to the way I articulate myself and the conversations I have with my parents, I'm really on it, right? Like more clear, more succinct, more true to myself than ever. But still, it doesn't make it any easier to be understood, which is the paradox, right? Like the one thing that I try over and over again to get better at is being understood, And even though I get better at articulating my thoughts and the way I feel, it doesn't. I might let you understand a thought, but it doesn't make you understand me or where I'm coming from and trying to share that thought with you. I feel like maybe that's where I have trouble as well. Maybe that's where my family has trouble. We don't give each other the time. Swampy, you got it, homie. People who are emotionally intelligent cannot be understood by people who let their monkey mind run the show. Your dad had too many kids and let the farm raise them. That's not your problem. Yeah. My dad was away, so it's not like he. I don't fucking. Being human is hard, for him too. Be gentle with them and be gentle with yourself. This is a big deal. It's also a beautiful change. It's also a beautiful chapter change. Painful as it may be, a broken relationship can be mended with distance and time. This is true. We just need some time to let the string of separation fade away before we can recognize the healing that's taking place. Keep the faith, brother. This is a good thing. You're right. You are right, Joshua. The thing is, and I think this is the part that sucks, is the feeling of not wanting to come back, right? Like, not only that, from like, oh, I'm not gonna come back, but like, they'll be happy about it, right? They don't want me to come back. So, from a place of love, I'll heed them and stay away. That's the fucked up side of the fractal. Mm-hmm. I like your dad's honesty on that one. Even if it's a white lie, even if a white lie would be more gentle. Yeah. I don't know if I expect them to lie. I just expect them to be articulate, you know. If you're going to tell me something that's going to be hurtful, at least explain. At least be clear, right? At least, show me where I can improve, not just tell me how I'm cack. No, mom ever wants to see her son leave. He won't convince me, neither will Pops. I'm convinced. John for the win. Love is true. His name is not technically John, it's John. And I know that sounds very similar. Especially, I sound like I'm saying John in the American accent. Hey, John, right? Where we would say John with a ha ha, John. And if it's Afrikaans, we say Johan, right? He is John with a Jean. Good old John. And I know it doesn't matter that much. I know you're just still sending love, but just so you know, I care about stuff like that. Wrong again, Doc. My mom put me and my brother out. She said she was done being a parent. Yeah. Like, that whole conversation, right? The thing my dad told me about, what do I contribute? When he asked me, what do you contribute? And the whole trauma with that came up again today. And he told me that he discussed with my mom the fact that I contribute nothing. And that's why he felt the liberty to have that conversation. And I go, oh, this is news to me. I have, lamented with my mom a few times about that conversation, but she's never made that point clear. So it is a weird fractal. It's a weird fractal. Not surprising. It would speak for the entire family. Yeah, and that happens a lot, Zano. You would be surprised how much that happens. And if it doesn't happen via them actually saying things, it'll happen via him going and letting them know, right? That Estian has said so and Estian is this and that. The feelings are real, brother. The reactions are valid. Maybe not balanced, but valid. Very not balanced. Oh, I don't think I'm at all balanced right now. I feel very sharp. Oh, I feel dangerous. Very pointy in all directions. Everyone needs a little break, and you need some new scenery. You're going to grow from this. I know, bro. I'm looking forward to this again, right? Like I wish, like that's the joke. Like I wish there was only good and like hopeful and like new chapter, like starry-eyed energy going into this. But there's like a certain level of fleeing that I'm feeling in my soul, and I don't want to acknowledge or give that power, and I feel like that's what's getting me. Whew. Yeah, my dad died. Love you again. Feel these feelings and have these moments so you can create a personal reference to this kind of moment. This time of evolution, Chrysalis. I'm sorry to hear that, Joy. I can't even imagine how hard being a single parent to two kids must be. If your mom's case, maybe she didn't know how to describe wanting to live a life of her own. It's never easy shedding the old skin. I know I find myself breaking down and crying from time to time when I don't get a break from dadding. I curse the world for not getting to be Mike. Feelings be tough sometimes. Again, bro, I don't think it has to be one or the other. I get you're always going to be a dad, right, from this moment on forward. But you also made that choice, right? So you can't curse the world for a choice you made. That's the way I see it. That's why I don't have any tolerance for it, right? That's why I don't have any kids yet. It's because I know at this point in my life, I wouldn't be able to give the life to my kid that I would expect my parents to give me. The love I would expect my parents to give me, the time, the presence, the willingness to connect, the willingness to suspend disbelief and hear the other person out. It's a lot, right? It's a lot, especially since we we find ourselves in a hole. Like my entire family is Christians, right? And they actively talk amongst themselves about how I'm going to hell, right? Like that's a point of contention for them. And just like thinking about the energy that goes into that, bruh, like it pisses me off to be just like blatantly honest about it. Like how fucking dare you kind of pisses me off. You know, like the gall, the don't you have anything better to talk about, the you do not know anything. You know fuck all. And then you want to assume things, right? You want to make assumptions about reality and about death and about finality and about my life choices. And then you want to like and again, this is again the thing that I took fault with last night and trying to have this conversation with my dad is him bringing that as a point up, right? Where he's like, oh yeah, but you believe you're God. And I go, yeah, Dad. How does that change our ability to have a relationship with one another? I believe you're God as well. And I say that to him, right? And he goes, but I'm not. I'm like, but Dad, it doesn't matter whether you're not or whether I am or whether I'm not. What matters is the fact that we can have a conversation, a relationship with another despite our differences. And then it's like, no, but you know, our family doesn't stand for that, you know. And if he, as a dad, didn't say something about it, he would be hating me because he would be damning my soul for eternity, right? And I'm like, it's this joke again of like, yo, I'm ruining our relationship by calling you a damned sinner the whole time, but I'm doing it because I love you so much. And I want you to not burn in hell forever. So I might as well make hell on earth for you and this relationship we have, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, in hopes that you find heaven because of that, right? Like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then I try to articulate to him that that's what he's doing, and then it's like a, you know, we don't have a relationship because you believe you're God. We don't have a relationship because you believe. I'm like, okay, dude, it's my fault. All right, all right, all right. Like I have relationships with a bunch of people, and they know that about me. You can have a relationship literally despite differences. That's the point. That in my mind is love, literally. But nay, I don't hold it against her. It's not like she put us out in the street. Bless. Villa Joy Vive. Young, and my dad had me out by 16. My BFF is saying that my money mind is running my mental health show. I have to trust that he is partially right. Yeah, unfortunately, well, we live in a society, right? Especially one that expects us to survive with this thing called money. And then when we feel like we don't have enough of it, it communicates a sense of dread, a sense of death, right? You and your children are gonna die, and you should feel bad about that, right? And then that will drag you down, right? Literally down to the death, down to the darkest part of our minds. You think so? Not, unfortunately. Natalie, obviously, it was important enough, common to carry here and bring to us. Do you think there's something to that criticism? I'm not judging, but I'm feeling angry at your dad. How can a girl without a mom be cast out in her most confusing years? Rupans, I wear. Need to say, chat since possibly my teens. I admit it was his choice to go along with kicking me out. I thought I loved John and John. Love is true. Jeans, Johns. Melty, I'm sitting here with tears welling up in my eyes because I remember the way you're feeling right now. It hurts when it happens this way. Everyone is ready for change, you especially. And again, right, like, and I said this as well because it does feel like a joke. It feels paradoxical. It feels like the universe is coyly playing tricks right now, where even though it's true, I want there only to be this hope, there was still a part of myself that was stressed and dreading leaving, right? And that stress and dread has now melted due to anger and a fire to leave, right? A want to leave, which is the other side of the joke, right? Like, yes, I don't want to feel like I want to leave. I don't want to feel like that. But feeling like I don't want to leave makes me feel stressed to leave. And I don't want to feel stressed either. Which is a better feeling to feel? I guess these are the feelings I'm supposed to feel, and I'm aware of that. These are the lessons I'm supposed to be absorbing. I'm just articulating it, right? Talking about it, and through our own lenses, you friends having experienced in one way or another the fractal of relationship with a parent, with a family member, with a significant other, with a friend. Differences can get in the way, but they don't have to. Keep melting them. Doc John is the lady at the Flying J gas station. She's a sweetheart. I don't know what those words mean. Sam, I think there's a lot because it fits with the points of emotional intensity disorder that are hard to see in the moment. I don't think it's true what he said. Even if they all said to him, I don't think they believe it. I think they were trying to act tough in front of him, saying what he wants to hear. I wouldn't trust him. I'm gonna have a conversation about it tonight, Zana. That's the way I am, right? Instead of talking behind someone's back and saying shit like, "Yeah, it's time for him to leave," right? Because that's how he articulated it. Like they've been conspiring to get rid of me, right? And he was the one who was like, "Nah, let's not get rid of him just yet." When we're having this fight about not having a relationship, right? Having this fight about him wanting me to leave, having this fight about him asking me, what do I contribute, right? Like, how am I supposed to interpret information like that? Other than, get the fuck out. So it's this, yeah, like, love is true. I'm sending him a giant kick in the belly beans. Love is true. Go back. Ban smoking inside. Good. Giving his conscious words BFF couldn't find. Meld giving the concise words BFF couldn't find. I'm happy that you felt that, Natalie. Sometimes I try to simplify, right? Say it as it is. Thinking about good old Dan. Like, relationships, Dan. Like, I think about Dan a lot still, I still love him. And we did have some conversations before he left again on Patreon. And then I thought about him, and I went to send him a message. And as I opened the chat to send him a message, I see this account has banned you or has blocked you. This account has blocked you, right? Where I usually push my finger to type something in. And I go, oh, okay. All right. I guess, if you want to snub a relationship, you can do that too. Even when, like, and that's the joke, right? Even when the other person will reach out and try and connect with you, if you've made that decision will be so. Even if it wasn't true, you'll believe it so, right? Like, for instance, I believe somebody hates my guts and I hate their guts, so I block them. Now I believe, yeah, I hate them and they hate me, and they're blocked, right? And then they have a change of heart. They change. They feel bad about the hatred they had towards me, and they decide to reach out, but then they can't because they're blocked, right? Then they might feel a sense of animosity in that moment, being like, bro, why do that? And I never get to have any closure. I never get to not believe that person hates me, right? Like, yeah. Another fractal to look at this whole relationship thing that we've been talking about. No. Thank you, Duck Dad. Bless you, bro. I appreciate you sharing your abundance with me, man. My family kept the conversation quiet and energies high, so by the time I left the farm, the tensions was palatable yet unspoken. I don't like the tension like that, right? The whole melting, like I would rather melt through the tension and start throwing fists than just So staring each other down kind of vibe. I want something to happen. Come on, something needs to happen. There needs to be some evolution. There needs to be some change. They are living the next life. They think having a shit energy in this life is fine as long as they save you. The next life will be love and snuggles. They are mad. They are mad at them failing Jesus. Yeah, maybe they are mad at themselves. Natalie, we have a giant man here that looked like a giant with a nail in his head. Unhappy Gilmore. He was Mean Gene. By the time we actually aired out opinions, it came as such a shock that we were actually discussing it. So that which was blatantly obvious to us individually, but never discussed, became kind of dramatic when we all started talking. Yeah, Natalie, bless. Thank you, dear friend. Blessing you back with so much abundance. You deserve the world. Love is true. Thank you, dear friend. Started talking. What I learned from that was to keep the air clear in an attempt to disallow the unspoken tension in gay strength. I'm taking your advice to heart. All right, this is Joe Schmo telling me, don't, actually don't ask your family, do they want you to leave, right? Don't do that. Because even if it's true, again, from the fractal of blocking someone you think hates you and them not hating you, in the same way, if you ask about the hatred and the hatred does end up being true, it ends up being worse, right? And the belief, like, just, it's not that easy, is it, Joshmo? It's not always that easy. It's because as soon as you start, pointing, like poking at this thing, it starts growing new legs and starts running away. You can totally listen and understand, but don't fall for the ego stories. It's emotionally worth nothing to you. The truth will show later when you hold your solid boundary. Yeah, well, I learned from that. Love again. I know we're all similar age, but I think of myself as the world's dad. Please keep these loving dad hugs and words of encouragement. You are loved. You are good enough and you are worthy. Thank you, Duck Dad. Yeah, it's nice to hear that. Once the sinner has been informed of what they're doing, each additional warning is just the warner looking to make themselves feel bigly and important. I like that actually, Sam. I won't use it, but yeah, I feel that. Melt, your family and religion is like mine and politics. I once tried to talk about the pros to communism during the US presidential race between Bush and Gore. Discussion was halted. I want to be strong for you today, Mel, to send you the strength to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I, fortunately, have a very big well of strength to pull from, right? Strength is not something I feel I'm lacking. And this is not me being like, oh, keep your strength thing. No. It's more like, I've experienced worse, right? And I've come out stronger on the other side. And I know I probably will still experience worse and come out stronger on the other side. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I'm not feeling a sense of weakness. I'm just feeling a sense of longing. All right, wishing, praying for that energy to come. Not realizing that I am the one that allows that energy to flow because it flows through me. I do not need my family, my friends to be something that I already am. All I need to be is myself, which is already love, right? And I know that, but I still have to remind myself painstakingly over and over and over and over again. And that's the thing that I feel I'm growing stronger in, right? It's like I have the strength to continue. Like I have the strength to punch through walls, right? I do consider myself an unstoppable object. An unstoppable object. I will not be stopped, right? And by the way, that whole fractal of what happens when an unstoppable object meets an immovable object, right? What is your articulation? What happens? I believe it melts. It literally melts. That's the only thing that's gonna happen. It melts something has to melt. Either the unstoppable object melts, or the immovable object melts. But melt, there will be melt, right? And that's how I'm showing up. I'll punch a hole through the universe if I need to get to the other side of love. But I will not stop. This is not going to be the end. This is but another chapter in the story. If anything, maybe like a little bit of a speed wobble, but not a stop. No, 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 no. It feels paradoxical. Yeah, Melty, exactly. I want to be strong. You're strong. More so than you know. I'll back off. Just feeling one way, brother. I feel your heart, man. I'm feeling your heart. Yours too, dude. I'll be strong for you today. When you leave a simple note on the table. Love is true. Love is true would be spiteful. If any note is left, it would be love never ends, as that is where all parties can agree. It's interesting you say that. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, love is true technically means love never ends as well, like it's an eternal force. But I can feel my family, right, articulating through their minds. I can see them being like, "Oh, yeah, Melt. If you die, we won't be able to love you anymore. So then it ends, right?" And I would go, "No, but you would still love like the memory of me or whatever." And then they go, "Yeah, but then we'll die one day, and then the memory of you and the love we had for you is gonna be dead as well. So then it's gonna end that way." And I'm like, "No, but you can tell stories of me." I'm sorry, Sam. Bro, like I can see the pain in my psyche, bro, of like literally being one person against five, with them just being like, well, at least my brother hasn't been here, so one person against four, just being like, yeah, you filthy heathen, you non-believer, you sinner, you Satan worshiper, you atheist. That's my dad's favorite line from me. I'm an atheist. I'm like, no, no, I'm actually not. I'm actually not an atheist. He's like, yeah, but you don't believe in the Christian God, so you're an atheist. I'm like, no, that's not what atheist means. That's not what it means, bro. Just because I don't believe in your God doesn't mean I don't believe in God. There is a difference. Spirituality is the pursuit of God, of what God is. Religion is when we agree on what God is, right? If I was born in the Middle East, I would have been born in a Muslim family, and my dad would have been Muslim, and I would have been brain damaging me with Muslims my whole life, and I would have been trying to fight against that. All right, if I was born in China or whatever, in Tibet with Buddhism, like the point I'm trying to make is that it is geographical, unfortunately, right, and it is a hierarchy, a like one thing leads to another. The my parents did this, and then my parents taught their kids to do this, and then I'm telling my kids to do so. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. We used to believe the earth is flat unanimously. Everybody was like, yeah, checks out. Look, you see any curvature? There's a mountain, but it's flat all the way to there. Earth clearly flat. And also the sun is circling us. And everyone's like, oh, look at the sun circling us. Look at it. It's doing it right now. But no, just because everybody believes something doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it true. Doesn't in fact, in fact, maybe we can argue because we live in a society, it might make it less than true, at least for some things. Hey, I see Kristen sending her lovin's. Bless you. Melty, please hear what I'm saying. No more fights need to happen. What has been said has been said. The emotions and desires are clear. A gentle exit and an expression of undying love for them. That's all that needs to be expressed right now. You are right, bro. You are right. I love stickers and got so many a few years back. All the ones I didn't get the reference on were pop culture gold to the co-workers. This is making a canal, and share some strength of that love. You friends are fine. I'll show you how much you lack strength. Let's wrestle. Like that, I think you might be underestimating me a little bit, bro. Like I don't look it, but I'm actually dangerous. I'm actually a dangerous person, because I like being. I like walking around like a loaded gun, and never firing at someone. I like that. That's why I'm gonna get more strong indefinitely. And I'm going to eventually augment myself, right, to the point of embedding nanomachines in my tissue to get more strong. And then never having to use it, right? Like walking. And then suddenly a wall pops up in front of me. And because I'm not paying attention, I just walk through the wall. That's how strong I want to be. I'm not there yet. Oh, but you would be surprised. Oh, let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. I've been begging the universe to give me like one chance to chokehold someone. Seriously, I've even Christian knows. Christian is like number one target because I'd be able to get away with choke holding him. Like I probably won't get sued. But if we like sign waivers, I will not sue Meld if he choke holds me, and I wake up next to the ring. I won't sue. Oh no, love is true. That's also one of the other reasons I won't want to do that. Melty, I have a well of strength that you can draw from if you need to. It's a comical way. I think you already draw from the same well. We draw from the eternal energy that exists in every fiber. Exactly, bro. That's why, like I get that your friends want to be strong with me or for me, but the strength that you are being, we all are already, always, right? So we can always draw from that strength. I thank you, friends. The point I'm trying to make is I don't want you to feel burdened by me communicating the feeling of being burdened, right? That's not the point. The point is, what we want is the best possible experience, the best possible relationship with one another, right? And that's technically what we're talking about. That's the direction we're pointing our minds in by giving ourselves the context, the contrast. You are an unstoppable force. Thank you, Natalie. I'll take that as a badge of honor. Love is true, love is true, love is true. Send me strength somehow. I just ripped a hole in the heel of my $25 Morento wool hiking socks. I have never done this. How do you rip a hole? Did you poke your toe through it? How did you do that, dude? Or maybe you pulled so hard that you pulled your finger through, or maybe it was so cold that the fibers were all stiff or something. Hey Nancy, bless you. It's nice seeing your name here with us. Pumpkin pancakes, Parmesan garlic pork chops last night. That does sound pretty fire. My son says hi, Meltmore. Hey, little dude. It's nice having you here, man. Looking forward to the next time we get to stick dance together again, bro. Holy moly, look at that. A wild bunch of awesome, amazing, spectacular, beautiful people gathered together. So much love and right back to you too. There is Jovan as well. If you have some extra strength, send Jovan some, right? If you have wells of strength to send Jovan's way, please. Just imagine Jovan breathing a sigh of relief, feeling that sense of, okay, the worst is over, things are now officially better, right? Like, it might be weird, but that sense of like relief you get after vomiting, right? Like, imagine that sense of relief just washing over her. Hey, Rosie, it's nice having you here. Sending you blessings, little one. Tell your dad you love him, right? And know that your dad loves you as well. You're lucky to still be a kid, Rosie. I hope you know that, all right? I still consider myself a kid, but unfortunately, I'm not one. And the world doesn't see a kid anymore. The world sees some dude. Do I look like a kid, Rosie? I can be childish at least, yeah, but not a kid anymore. Damn it! Should shave my beard. That will probably help. Seems like we get talked to every time we talk about Joe. Yeah. So talk about Joe. Talk about Joe. What's happening? Why can't I? Sam says, seems like we get talked to every time we talk about Joe. It's only a few friends that guess what I'm doing right now, but that's still enough for it to be funny. Natalie, I can sew, but part of me wants these socks to suffer a fate of becoming rags despite it for failing. The Chubbs rating emoji. Love is true. I told him it was the last day on the farm. I got the full W5. Who, what, where, when, and why. Who? Me is moving. Why? Because what? What I'm doing? I'm moving. Where? To Hartbeespoort. When? Tomorrow morning. Why? A bunch of reasons. One of the reasons is I need change. Just like purely, I need change. That's a good reason to move, as any. Second reason to change, to move, is to go and have conversations with other people, right? Like the farm is amazing. It's beautiful. There's a lot to hear. There's a lot of nature to experience and to learn from. However, when it comes to the conversations I'm supposed to have with people, the people are not on the farm. So I need to go where the people are in order to have the conversations I'm supposed to have with said people. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, I have not felt welcome for a while now, right? I have felt this sense of I am a burden. I am not contributing. So I am going to move out, right? Like if I give people that sense, then I'm clearly, making a mistake or, like something is amiss because damn, bro, like, like, dude, like how is that even possible? I'm tripping out just thinking about it. Fourth reason, I'm gonna start a business. With John. John was in chat a little bit earlier. We're going to start a visual business where we're going to be doing the staging design, at least in the long term, but in the short term, staging decor, live decor, staging live decor. I don't exactly know how to articulate it in a way that most people will understand. Essentially, you have projectors, you have a computer, you have media, you have a stage, and then you project onto that stage media. You can make like little maps where you cut things out and then you put different things in the different cutouts. It's very cool. And again, if I want to have a business, I'm going to have to be close at the very least to where the business is going to be done. And again, that's not on the farm. I hope those questions suffice your curiosity, dear friend. Oh, Doc Dad, I would blow your mind of some of the stuff we throw down. Love is true. Your whole culinary fractal is going to explode when you get to cook side by side. Love is true. That does sound fun. Joints like twigs. I also walk around like a loaded gun. Your only chance, albeit a good chance, is my joints snapping like twigs. Yeah, it's true, bro. I got that 25-year-old joints. Got that young man strength. I know you got that old man strength though, but I got that young man strength. I got that stamina. You've seen me dance, bro. You've seen me dance. So, like I'm going to win due to just sheer tenacity, bro. I'll be beaten and bloody, and I'll still be fighting. It's like, can that dude even see through his eyes? Nay, he is fighting purely by sound and smell at this point. Bro, I've grown up with a farm, boys, and they've actually farmed. Bring it on. I'm not trying to tune you, dude. I'm just standing up for myself, man. Like, oh yeah, you think you can fight me? I'll fight you back. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm actually weak sauce, lame ass, loser. You totally win. Nay, you won't get that from me. I'm sorry. Right? You can be Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You won't get that from me. Like, nay, I'm gonna win a fight like standing like a mountain in front of me, like every fiber of my being tells me this is 1, a bad idea, and 2, probably going to end up in death, and I'll still stand my ground. Oh, no. My friend feels burdened by the explanation of my burden. I like that reminder to everyone, to others, reinforce that everyone else's emotions are not yours. Yeah, but we do feel responsible for people's emotions. That's the thing. We can't exactly just not. It's a part of our evolution to be tribal, to be considerate of others. And again, I feel like things are not the way they're supposed to be in so many different ways that people feel a sense of dread, like the whole carbon tax, the whole, like the plastics we use, for example. Feeling bad about it, that you have disposable plastic after you've had a meal, right? When that's not the way it's supposed to be. We should have a societal change instead of making people feel individually guilty. $25 for a pair of socks is a lot. I wasn't paying attention until then, and somehow that should be a tailor to get those damn socks. Yeah, true. I remember one day a dude selling socks next to the road and buying 3 pairs of socks for 60 rand. That's like $3. I paid $3 for 3 pairs of socks. And you're like, they were surely amazing quality socks, Meld. Hey, those socks fell apart like stockings. Within months of me wearing them. Please hug the stuffies for us. Love is true. We love you, Jovan. Yes, we do. Love you. I'm better. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, instantly it worked. No melt, I was pulling it on. And when it got from my heel, I just split wide open. Oh, that is kind of weird, bro. How old are they? I'm sorry, Sam. I'll be quiet. No, you be loud, bro. You be loud. How come girls never challenge each other to wrestle matches? I mean, depends on where you find yourself, right? Maybe some of them do. Maybe some of them do. I think it's also like an ego thing. You women, you are a little bit less egotistical, or at least less showboaty with your egos as men. Like men can be very, to say it as crudely as possible, dick measure-y. Right? Like, can you stop? I don't know if women do that too, but at least if you do, it won't be as, I want to say immature. I think immature might be the right word. There is a certain level of maturity that comes with the feminine way of being. I hope this is coming through as me complimenting and uplifting the feminine. Hey, Shell, sending your blessings. Nice having you here too. Spelling on. I have no idea why this popped up in my head, but for a long time I dated a girl who had a shirt that said, "Tell your dad I said thanks." Like for you being born? That is interesting. A mixed media artist. Natalie, I competed in mixed martial arts in college. Young man stamina versus old man strength. A tale as old as time. Swampy, I'm giggling because I know. The only thing you can assume about a broken down older man is that he's a survivor. Yeah, that is true. I like that actually. Thank you, Joyviv. Joyviv, the answer to your question, how come girls never challenge other to wrestling matches, can be answered with the years of crusty stacks of pornography. Which era would you like to start with? Nay, please. Dwayne Johnson's dad comes from neighboring province. It would take me less time to get there than Mel to get into town from the farm. Doug is significantly smaller than I am. I'm also training. I'm also trained and practiced. I have a longer reach and I have a vicious streak. And yet, I'm fairly certain that Duck could kick my ass all day. Fold me like a piece of paper before I knew I was supposed to be a fight. Fold you like a lawn chair, dude. Meltmore, I love you so much. I love you too, Shell. We are clinging you to our hearts. Let me be a self when you feel your wounded heart. Thank you, Shell. Love is true. We get to have this moment, this experience. I do plan on taking you friends for a little bit of like a walk. You know, like we're gonna just like look at the farm one last time before we leave. Would you like that? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Man, I love you, brother. You're probably going to crush me 9 times out of 10. If you could, you avoid my grip for longer than a minute. I ain't got cardio past 1 minute. Yeah, that's stamina, bro. Swampy, I think it should be you and me staring at each other like confused Spider-Man, waiting for the other to make the first move because we don't trust what comes for number two. Exactly. I love that quote. Engage. So far, we have 2 Disney movie plots in chat. Melt is the Little Mermaid, stretching their legs and going where the people are. Joe and Doug is Beauty and the Beast. Love is true. I'm gonna turn this light off, and then I'm going to get my footwear. I'm gonna pull a card from each deck as well today. I feel like we have to pull a card from the old deck one last time before we leave. I put 45,000 steps a day on feet most days. That is pretty true. Yeah, that is true. You gotta need that good socks. Disney Little Mermaid, where Melty slowly falls in love with the prince. The one where he turns into a sea foam at the end. Like, I don't know if I like this canon universe we're in right now, Sam. Somebody let me out. I don't want to fall in love with the freaking Disney princess or prince. I probably would. That's the best joke. He would be so freaking handsome, you know, and charming. I wouldn't help but fall in love with him because he's a Disney prince. But sometimes we should get in VC. Political correct bedtime stories. Card. It's a footpath and a tree. Looking forward to. We're not gonna pull just yet. We're gonna go for our walk first. There was a girl wrestler at my high school. She was absolutely tough as nails. I believe I would surely die if I attempted to wrestle her. The new deck card is gonna be one we've pulled before. I just know it. Now I want you to be wrong, Joy V. Maybe my want of you to be wrong is going to make us pull another card. Or better yet, my want of you to be wrong is going to make me pull a card we've pulled before. That's probably gonna be how it is. Feats of strength is the most basic male rite of passage in our existence. Now that I'm surrounded by estrogen 24/7, 365, the output is screaming for release. That is probably true as well. It's snowing here. I will be taking extra special joy into experiencing this today, where Mel cannot. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please do. Really melt into that snow. I'm going to switch to data. Let's see if it works. Go mobile. Hey, UD. Let's just absorb how beautiful this tree be. I really do love it. The little Barbie singing. Prince Eric is a dreamboat that even jumps into ocean to save his dog. Let's come here first. This is usually where I come to get myself a piece of lavender. This bush doesn't look long for this world though. Looks like it's seen better days. This one's still alive though. Family is coming back. Random ass broken stove that my dad bought from the scrapyard, just standing there. Burnt tires and yeah. Like, part of me wants to like take all of this video so that by the time I come back, I can compare if things have gotten better as well. You know, who knows how long that will be. Wat wil je parkeren? Okay, I think they're gonna park the car for it to be washed. That is usually our connection to the interwebs. This is the greenhouse my dad built my sister underneath a tree, avocado tree, in fact. That's Truck, Pippi, Yudi, Gingy Cut, Eva, Kistu. This is the desk I'm taking with, and the chair, my yoga anatomy books, sandals. That's the bed and my other big yoga mat. This used to be my office, but my computer is no longer here. The painting my sister painted me, that is going with. It's a mess, I know, but to be expected. This is my grandma's. She asked me to print out one of my flowers. My room, some stuff on my bed. It's the paintings that Dean sent me. Taking them with. Tomorrow's clothing, Pepe's bed. Cleaned most of the stuff here. There's like a bunch of stuff that was in another box. I'm gonna take that clothing. Some more here, some more stuff there. I don't know if I've shown you friends this, but I'll show you when I can. Like show you good. You'll see. It's still gonna be a surprise. This is like the most anxiety-ridden place for me. When I walk in here, I suddenly feel this sense of dread. I'm like, oh, bro, what the hell? What the? Oh, this is a generator. We've been like, I haven't been too vocal about it, but the electricity situation in South Africa has been devastating as of late. Like bad, like atrociously bad. This nice little area. These plants are growing so healthy. They make me happy. Growing up in that tree. And there's one here as well. Like that's one plant technically, and that's one plant. I think they do make multiple versions of themselves eventually, but yeah. Dad has been planting some new fruit trees on this side. That piece of building got built on in the last 3 years. After my mom has been asking for so long. This little area. This tree used to be a very disgusting tasting lemon. Dad cut it down yesterday or like day before yesterday. Some fruit trees. I think that's also a lemon. That's also a lemon. That's also a lemon or a lime. That's a grapefruit. I think that's a mango or a peach. New pomegranate. I think that might be a mango. Another peach. Another peach. Another peach, I think, as well. Or like peach or apricot, so I can think. This is a narchi. Look at them spider lilies. I do love these plants. Oh, they're so pretty. That's the dam that freaking cows would throw themselves into that we have to pull out sometimes. It's like a pear and an apple tree, another peach or apricot, another citrus, another peach or apricot. Like we have so many peach trees. Like it's actually ridiculous. I'm noticing now. This is like some nothing tree. I don't know what it is, but this is beautiful. Another tree. Yeah, that's it. Circling back. Here's some baobabs. They're still babies. They used to be super big. Look at this. This was like a whole big ass little tree. And then the frost came and completely froze her. Fortunately, she put a lot of energy into her root system. So growing back 3 new big branches, it seems. Like this was this year's growth alone, which is, at least in my mind, very impressive. Feels amazing. And here's another one. Same situation. That used to be the branches it had. These are the new ones. Unfortunately, this one did not make it. There's a third one here. This one got KO'd. This tree is still just as wrecked. Still other plants are taking over. I want to plant like a proper vining plant onto this tree, you know, like get it covered in vines instead of just being naked. There's also like a, there it is. I missed it now. There's what's called a Blauwkopkogamander living in this tree. It's a type of lizard species. Oh, bro, the sun is blasting my eyeballs. I don't think it wants me to see it, technically speaking. There we go. There it is. That right there is a lizard. There it moves. Technically, it shouldn't be able to hear me. It doesn't have the same type of ears we do, but look at that lizard dude. Okay. So that's better. All right. Let's go and look at the greenhouse a little bit, shall we? I'm watching someone walk through a farm of fruit trees beyond the equator while I watch the snow outside. 13 weeks of sharp teeth, man. Latest stream now. Hey. It's nice to have you here. This is the last stream. Kukomunga lizard. That's true. This is the last stream on the farm. So I'm happy that you're here for it. Sending you blessings, Melita. When does Tornado come down? The bush is here. My bags are standing there. They're to be loaded. And there's this whole area of just like stuff standing bare, gym equipment without any weights to gym with. Why? I don't know. Trailers without wheels, more broken down trucks and motorcycles. And yeah. Chimkins. Pippi's chasing chimkins. Don't look so excited to chase those chimkins, you silly. Don't look so excited to chase them. This is the, like, gets taken away. Needs to get a wheel before it does get taken away, at least, though. There's the cows. Yeah. Like, it's rough right now. They've been having their camps cleared, but it's taking some time, especially if it keeps raining. It gets super slippery in there. And then one last time, can show you these. My girls, looking so strong and so healthy. Isn't that what I build as well for them? And you're like, how old are these plants, Mel? They're a little bit more than a month old. A little bit more. They're like week 4 veg, which in my mind is pretty insane. I've been training them, right? That's not how they're supposed to look like normally. That's how they look like normally. This one is the only one I did not train. And it looks like it, right? Like that's the footprint from above. And then the ones I train. Yeah. Look at this one branch that is just like pointing at that light right now. Coming out from the side. It's the one I'm letting grow tall. The rest of them I'm getting trained all sideways. So that when they do eventually start like fruiting or flowering, those colas will point through here. This one's also standing up pretty tall. I did train it down so the side branches did start to grow though. Oh man, I'm gonna miss these plants. I'm gonna miss not seeing them grow up. I will get to see other babies grow though, so. Like the thickness of this like leaf stem. I've never had a plant that grew this thick, this quickly. I don't know if any of you friends care about this stuff, but like to think of like a tree, you know, this plant is like 30, 34, 35 days old, right? Days. And it's grown a stem as thick as my pinky, right? Maybe even like as thick as my ring finger at this point. Like, look at that. It makes me happy. And she is a lady, officially. There you go. You can see if you want to. You can look if you wanna. Let me switch to this lens. There we go. That right there is probably a calyx instead of balls. I'm sorry. Pollen sacs, I should say instead. Goodbye, little plants. We love you. Come, Pepe. My hand is getting sore from pinching the camera. I'll send you photos of my babies, please do. That sounds amazing. Usually beat the Spider original. And now number 2, sharing the fractals. Yeah, number 2 was my first Spider game when I was young. It's really nice. So much love. What Lemon Tree Wood is like. Should I show you on the inside? Yeah. Vat 'n tour van ons julle huis alweer. Voor ek nou gaan, kan ek terugkyk, jy weet, 'n paar jaar hoe het verander het. As dit verander het. I mean, since we're on adventures. Ja. Sal nie verbaas wees nie. This looks like a... Ek kon kyk vir die saks is, Ek kon kyk vir die kykies. Hey, moms. Hey, mommy. Eva's being like, yo, I'm so stoked to be here. Hey, mommy. Where's your mommy?
Dit is lekker vir al die keer so. Kiekies, saggies, né? Saggies.
Eva is so stoked.
Jy sal nie die babietjie byt nie. Jy sê nie van gehou dat ons jou babietjies gebyt het nie, nou sê jy.
Eva, you should be careful.
Wat bietjie lastig, Lastig. Baie terug op baie nuuskierig, maar
Versigtig ook op die sagte.
versigtig.
Thank you for letting us see your babies. Thank you, sweet girl. I guess it's love you. Shmo kitty. Yeah. Oh, you probably haven't seen them yet. I'm happy to share them. No, die kykies van die mense. Nie almal kyk op elke keer nie, so Ginger being like, yeah, I'm Ginger. Yeah, life sucks. Yeah, I will just go about my business. Hallo mama. Maak je nou goed?
Ken jij?
King. Maar meestal gepak, maar... Washroom. The family shower. If you want to see in there. And then this used to be at least Rudo's room. My brother, who was now out and also working. Hey, you sweetie. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, so cute. Yeah, so cutie, cutie. So cuties. Oh, yeah. Used to have them each year for quite some time. So cute. Thank you for this, sharing so much of your life with us. Thank you, friend. Mia's room. This is my sister's room right now. Yeah, spaces. And this is the parents' room. My mom's massive mural. And then this is the bathroom. Mom's side. And the walk-in closet she has been asking for so long. Guess what? Walk-in closet don't make happy. Unfortunate race. Oh, you're gonna go with me? Let us go. Oh my gosh. To the multiverse, you are loved. You are worthy of all the blessings you receive. May each and every one of you overflow of abundance. Thank you, dear Kristen. With no electrical outlets, nay. I don't think so, at least. Can't make it at home because store Evo here sucks. Yeah, our store Evos aren't that bad, fortunately. Let's see how long I'll have signal for, and if my signal strength will increase outside again. It's not looking too hopeful. I'm gonna try and switch over again. Hedgehog trap, essentially. Some empty boxes. Now you're like, wow, Mel, that's so many egg cartons. Your mom must do a lot of baking. There used to be literally 2 towers up to here. Like that's the door, up to here. Just standing here, like to the point where they would start toppling over and you would walk into this place and it will be completely totaled. Rusks being cut right now. My mom's industrial mixer, a microwave, and a sealer. And here's the work surface of the rust being cut, the containers, place to wash up. This oven is basically used for drying. This oven is the baking one. And then there is more nothing. Oh, little kitty. Hey, Roxy. Hey, you were in here the whole time? Wow. What were you doing? You were just chilling? That's nice. Yeah. And then a bathroom as well. A bath. This, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, friends, but you can infer, you can like guess what that is. Because the light's not working. And then there's 2 bedrooms for guests. Yeah. There we go. My fractal has been shared. This was like my yoga room. This is a weird fractal to look at, right? This is what it's like being me. Welcome. How many beds are on the farm? Like, we have a family of, I think, 60 people, so more beds than we need day to day, realistically. I like to think that your dad is going to take care of those plants, and when you return, you'll have a moment with him smoking your fresh bud, like you had a good brother. I hope so, bro. Remember me tripping out, Duck Dad, about these plants? Something like 2 weeks ago or something? How many weeks ago? Yeah, look at that, though. They still haven't been planted. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Oh, sorry about that, dear friends. Walking through the house, still using mobile data, was more than our network could handle. But there you go. We got to see a part of the farm. Hand shoes, hey. It's nice having you here, friend. It's our last day on the farm, so really absorb this fractal. I'm going to stack myself a second little vaporizer full of lemon pudding. I'm going to inhale that lemon pudding. And then we're going to pull a card, 2 cards in fact. After which we'll play some kalimba. And then I'll go get back to packing. What's in the rock building? I showed you. Joy concrete walls is most places of the US. Crop harvest consistency. Save a bunch of good ones. Yeah, part of me wants to come through and harvest those plants, bro, because like that's like a big thing, you know. And then they have to dry for at least technically 2 weeks, ideally 2 weeks with the right humidity control, but that is unlikely to happen. Hey guys, hey again. Send you love. How many beds? I'd like to thank love again. Mama Kitty is so beautiful. Looks like Pippi wants her own kitty. Weirdly enough, I thought about that as well, looking at Pippi. Like she wants, you know, she would like to have some baby doggos as well. Wait, so how many people live in the farm? Technically right now, only 5, right? There's 5 in the family. My mom, me, my brother, my sister, and my dad. And now with me leaving, it's only gonna be 4. So yeah, again, this house is way, like this house has more than enough space for like 5 extra people. Space isn't the problem, you know, it's a difference in understanding how we ought to utilize the space, right? What's the best way to use the space? How can we use the space to ensure we have the best possible time? And those differences make a difference. Surprise, surprise. Nice. None of your helpers live there. Our helpers sound so PC, are in their own kind of like block. There's like more, like I don't know if you saw next to the whole farm area, there's like more houses built. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, with only 3 of them populated at this time. Horse grenades, so much love. Exponential differences, yeah, exactly. How much would your dad pay me in Rand to be a farm helper, Meld? Like minimum wage? So between 3,500 Rand and 5,000 Rand. So $200 to $300 a month. It does include, you know, free rent, free electricity, free water, and technically free food. And I hear you saying, what do you mean technically free food? Like the staple, that's the, you know, like we call it mili meal, which is what the most African people basically eat as a staple. Like in the same way that some countries eat bread, in the same way some countries eat rice, in the same way that some countries eat pastas, South Africans eat mili meal. So I believe my dad and the people that work for him have an arrangement where he also covers their food costs, or at least their staple food costs. So, you know, for the most part, they get to take away more money than most people in South Africa do. Again, right, the fact that it has to work this way is beyond me. Being born into this world is such a weird fractal, you know, what people consider normal, what we have to do to survive. It's a beautiful view and everything. I still don't get why you would want to leave. I get you said it's time for change. Perhaps I don't like change. Change is not for everybody, dear friend. I thrive on change. I am change. Melt more literally means change in a way as well. It means relax. It means calm down. It means abandon your ego. It means so many things, but change is inevitable, dear friend. Change is the only constant. So I'm not scared of change. I'm more apprehensive of dissonance, right? Like lack or things being less than they could be. That's my trip. Like I'll change the world as long as I change the world well, right? To me, I know I'll change the world. No matter what I do, I can literally lock myself in my room and not say a word to anybody ever again, and I'll still change the world. But is that going to be the good change of the world? Is that going to be the best possible change I can bring into this space? And nay. So, again, the doctor is just standing with me. All I have to do, and the thing I stress myself out about, is try and bring good change. And I think this is going to be good change, Sky. Like, that's the thing, right? It is good change in my mind. Not only change, but good change. I'll stick my ass in a tent. I'll call it a vacation. I'll help you out there for that money. But sure, live in that big house. Love is true. I mean, why not? Sky, beautiful place. Don't always make for happy places when others are involved. Ah, puppy, no barking. Beautiful places don't always make for. Yeah, exactly. It's in the middle of nowhere. Sky, he's a young man. He should be near the city. Normal is no longer the norm. Change is the only constant. The only constant in life is change. I like how many people are like hitting on that fractal. Exactly. Time for our cards. We'll pull from the old deck first. You know, give it its honor, its respect that it's due. This deck of cards have seen some shit with us, friends. Right? Can we just like take a moment to love you, this deck of cards? Yo, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Pink, I'm going to shuffle them first. Was going to be pink until I shuffled them. Let's see. I haven't shuffled this deck of cards in so long. Feels good. Feels nice. Feels right. Francine Hart. Old deck is orange and blue. I mean, like the core colors of the deck is literally orange and blue. And like this card that I chose to pull, I'm going to show you, but it's not the card I intended to pull for our day. I intended to pull this card just to show you, but of course, this is the card I ended up pulling, Spiraling into Love. I love this card. 44 is my favorite double-digit number. But again, I'm still mixing. Feel you don't mind me. For some reason, I'm just sad you were moving. Yeah, me too. For what it's worth, Sky, I'm also sad that I'm moving. Right? Like both can be true. I can be sad that I'm moving and also happy to go to somewhere new. All right? Just because I have one of the experiences doesn't mean I am unallowed the other. So for what it's worth, again, I also feel that feeling. The old deck, yes, yeah, of course, needs to be so. Your sister needs to keep killing plants and buying them from me. Yeah, dude, of course. My sister is your favorite clientele, dude. Especially if they keep coming back to buy more. Melt, I gotta go. Thanks for the farm tour. I'm happy for you and your next adventure. Sending lots of love. Blessings to you too, Nancy. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Let's pull a card. It's been so long. Do we still have the connection, sacred geometry? This one. yeah, of course. Octamotion. Card number 55. To be a flowing in change. To change from one form to another. Yeah, to camouflage. To flow with this reality. This is also the first card I ever pulled for Jovan. when she asked me to, or I intended to. 55, Octomotion. This feels so appropriate. Thank you, Francine Hart. Thank you, Sacred Geometry. Take a good second to absorb the beauty. Man, I really like the way this deck looks. Now coming back to it, I feel like it's even more special to me. It's like, ooh, damn, that was Sacred Geometry. I do like it. I'm definitely biased, but I really do like this deck of cards. Love you extra. I like you, deck of cards. Don't you for a second think, because I have another one. I don't love you any less. Octomotion. You ready? You ready to know what it means? Let's see. Flow and flexibility. Flow and flexibility is the core meanings. Octopuses are known for their ability to swim with fluidity, to conceal themselves as they crawl across the reef. If you are fortunate enough to see one, it is likely they are doing the dance of octomotion, demonstrating graceful, flexible movement. They can pull their arms into tightly coiled spirals or stretch them beyond what seems possible. The mantle can take on the spiky appearance of seaweed or the bumpy texture of coral. The octopus is the eight-legged master of motion and flexibility. Octagonal star geometry inlaid into this card enhances the power of 8. That is literally this year's number. Woo! This is making me excited. The power of 8 and speaks of resonance and periodic renewal. This card asks you to examine how ideas and events are moving towards the subject of your inquiry. Are you in resonance with the flow? Are you engaging the situation with optimism, suppleness, and flexibility? I'm trying. If so, this card applauses the sincerity of your intentions. Or do you feel you need to camouflage your ideas and emotions by adapting yourself to what you believe is expected of you? Never. Fucking never. There are many ways to move through a situation. The path of least resistance and flow is generally the easiest. Remember, however, not to consent to rigidity in the situation or permit it to obscure your light. The worth of your voice will be made apparent as you recognize and honor your dedication to integrity and expressing your personal truth. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit while respecting the truth at your core. Hot damn. Yeah. Yeah. This card took me on a ride. Wow. That's exactly what I needed to hear. The power of 8. The fact that this year is 8, right? Abundance, and I've been like tripping out about that over and over and over again. And then there's like this last card of this space is like just a genuine reminder. Infinity of 8, right? Yeah, the flexibility of the infinity. Oh, love is true. You beat me to it. Come on, baby, do the act of motion. Fucking hot diggity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for me cursing mid-reading. You know, I shouldn't do that. I should be a little bit more Zen mode 5000. You know, I have a hard time, you know, pretending to be holier than thou. Like it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. There is no holier than thou. Everything is holy. Hmm? Everything. All of it. All of it is holy. Oh, take it. Okay. Weirdly enough, let me actually, before I pull this card again, because I'm going to try and do the same thing. When I pulled that previous card, the way I did it is I closed my eyes. And as soon as I closed my eyes, I saw a dial that had a sliver of highlighted area on the dial. And then, as I kept moving the cards, I saw this hand on the dial, or clock face, or gauge, whatever you want to call it, move towards that highlighted, in my mind, ideal area. And then I kept moving my thumb, and the more I moved the cards, the more the dial moved closer and closer to the ideal zone. And as soon as it moved into the ideal zone and lit up, I pulled the card, and then it was Octomotion. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. We're out there, man. Yeah. Yeah. Don't stifle your Jovials. No, you're so funny. Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Good. It's hard to be anything other than simply genuine. We're out there, man. We're out there and right here at the same time. Weirdly enough, I went past it. It's one of these ones. This one. I, I'm split, Joy Vive. I'm split because it's not one of the cards we pulled. And you know what? You know what? If I didn't listen to that intuition-y part of myself and did something I've never done before, I've never gone past cards and then pulled them back to get one. I've never done that. But this time I did. And we got this card. It's not, I mean, there's pink in it, but I feel like the theme is more blue. Like these pink flowers are gorgeous, especially those ones. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Right? Like we did talk about that. I talked about feeling that sense of retreat, like I need to retreat, like I need to escape, right? And not liking that I feel that way. And then this card is like, hey, bro, how about when you retreat, you are allowed deep replenishment. It is not something to fear. You are allowed to deeply replenish yourself. I do get Zano vibes from this lady. I think it's the long hair. You feel it too, Zano, huh? Nice. I have to go, my friend. You're loved, Duck Dad. You have all my positive vibes I can spare today for this new journey and this time. Tomorrow, all the angst will be in your face in the happy land. Yeah, dude. Next time you see me, I'll be elsewhere. I'll have retreated. I'll have a new place to rest. I'll be held by a whole new space. Love is true. Thank you for joining us, dude. Deep replenishment. One more time. The moon, the stars, even like the little constellation connections, the flowers being held, the lady beautifully bejeweled and dressed in ether, cactuses. Is those? No. Maybe those ones are, but most of them aren't psychedelic in nature. The water, the sand dunes, the flowers. Deep replenishment. I got angst in my pants. I got angst in my pants. I'm getting Phineas and Ferb right now. Please. Please stop. Thank you. Deep replenishment. 64. Oh, goodness. This is going to take us on a trip. It's already starting. This feels like what I need to hear, and I haven't even started reading it. So I'm going to take a moment. Okay. The most selfless thing you can do is to fill up your own inner well. When you are running around half filled, we subconsciously look to things and people around us to give us the nourishment and nurturing that we so deeply crave. Nothing can grow in barren lands. You are no good to anyone if you are running on empty. The feminine is bountiful, fertile, and rich. Tend to your own well. Goodness, like we said that. We literally used that exact words. Tend to your own well and watch as the amount you have to give multiplies. Like this is melting me right now. I didn't take enough of a moment before starting to read it. Love is true. If your inner well isn't full, you will find yourself craving things from the outside world to fill it. This is our own body's instinctive way of reaching for the grounding and nurturing that we are not allowing ourselves. The poem I read literally had that as its crux point, the fact that we are not allowing the energy to flow. What nourishes you? What refuels your body? What is the nectar for your soul? What brings you back to life? What is your secret medicine? What makes you feel abundant and fertile, overspilling with life? It may be gardening, arranging flowers, getting a message, using luxurious essential oils, snuggling up on the couch, hiking, sipping a good coffee at your favorite cafe, attending a women's circle, reading about sacred sites, spontaneous bike rides, walking along the beach, or yin yoga. What nourishes you is your medicine. When you give yourself the medicine that you need to be nourished, you nourish all those around you, for there is more than enough to go around. Do something that deeply replenishes you today. The way this year started with me just absolutely tripping out about plants and gardening. Yeah, love is true. Those are happy tears. I hope you know that. Like, I'm just kind of melted. I feel seen. I feel held, right? The universe. Oh, the universe. Looks like pathway to a girl sitting against a tree branch now. I can actually see it, bro. Maybe even as the tree. Like those wavy hairs is just branches. Whew. Okay. Looks like the pathway. Can I say my ultimate pet peeve is people who smoke in a drive-through? Everybody has their windows open. You have these self-centered assholes stinking up the fucking car. Sorry, angry. Yeah, bro. Agreed. Agreed. I'm on your side. Oh, if only we all held such friendships and connections when we embarked as you tomorrow, meltiest of Meltmores. If I can help it, shall, we all will. And geez, I'll try to help it. I'll make it my life purpose. I'll throw myself against that wall until it breaks. But I will not stop. Not with all of you friends on my side, right? Because again, if only we all had such friendships and connections when we embarked as you tomorrow. You literally do. All of you friends, for being here, for being a part of this space, do have such friendships and connections whenever you embark anywhere. Like that is what we have created with this space. Right? How would I have been able to cope with this move if not for this stream, if not for these cards, if not for this Pippi coming and giving me some lovin's right now? How would I be able to cope with that? The move is blessed. Yes, bro, so blessed. Today is a good day. Tomorrow has been encouraged by the strength of today. And so the cycle continues to expand. Manifestations, confirmations, and synchronizations, my bread. My bread? That's fucking weird. My friend, my dude. Maybe I have my move is you are so worthy, so loved for what you bring together and evoke in us, Melt. Best of cult leaders. Don't call me a cult leader, please. Like, and it's so weird how I have these thoughts sometimes, Shell, and then it feels like you're in my brain, right? Because today, and it's one of those thoughts where I'm just like thinking something, and then my thinking leads to thinking of other things. And today's thinking of thinkings lead to me like articulating to myself how I don't want to be a cult leader, right? For the sheer fact that if I'm a cult leader, I'm gonna have to be a cult leader. Right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be the leader of a cult. Right? Like, it's the whole glamour of being a cult leader, one, and then there is actually having to be the leader of the cult. And I like, nay, no, thank you. No, right? Like, we are not a cult. Again, like a cult specifically requires you to either see me as more divine than you, or me as an intermediary between you and divinity, right? Like, in my mind, a cult leader is like a spiritual gatekeeper. That's like, they're like, oh, you have to follow me, and then if you follow me, then you'll reach enlightenment, then you'll go to heaven, right? That's cult mentality to me. Where my whole teaching is, you're already in heaven, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to follow me. You can hear that. You can hear that statement, that fractal, love is true, and go about your life living that way. And my job is done, right? You don't have to come back to this space. And that's why I have to. That's kind of the point. I'm not a cult leader. Otherwise, I would require you, friends, to keep showing up, right? And it would be the whole fractal. And I've said this to my dad, and this is like one thing I'll say, just like as a little bit of, I don't know if it's shade, but the whole fractal of, the Christian God offers you salvation, and if you don't accept it, you get eternal damnation, right? And then I go, Dad, even though I get that's what you believe, how is it that I can be better than that from an articulation perspective, from a moral perspective, where if one of you friends choose to leave, like I'm offering love, right? God is offering you love, and then you choose to not take that love, and then you leave that. In the God fractal, in the heaven fractal, there's no salvation. After you've chosen hell, that's hell for eternity, right? There's no backsies, nay. You're now burning, right? In my mind, if you've chosen to go and experience the state of hell, and you're like, bruh, being alone, not having friends, not having that sense of connection is not something that I want to experience anymore. Let me go and connect again. And then you are unallowed, right? You are shunned. And that's why like my heart breaks for Dan so much, because Dan kind of did that, right? Dan made it clear he's now leaving. And then did come back. And then unfortunately, I don't think it was our entire community's intention to make him feel that way. But because of direct, and that was the whole streams, the next day's streams topic, like because of relationships. And that was in a weird way today's stream topic as well. So I feel like it's a full circle kind of thing coming. Because of relationships, you're not only beholden to the community, to the space that you're in, but also to the people. And in my mind, with the internet being as it is, technically, you cannot be gate kept, right? If you want to, and I literally encouraged him to, right? I didn't mention it quite clearly with the previous time, but the message I wanted to send him to find that he's blocked is I wanted to encourage him again to just create another account, right, with a different name, and come back into stream and pretend to be somebody completely differently, right? Like start from a fresh start because of the way that he's been and the relationships he's created because of that experience, right? And that's the point for me, at least. Like the future is very much avatar based, right? Like we're going to be multiple different things. Sure, you'll be this fleshy part of yourself and the way that you look, but you can also be something else. And by being that something else, you'll be allowed experiences that you can only have when you occupy a different state of being in that way. So again, looking forward to the future. He called me bread. Yes, culture, love like yogurt or plants. Your bread, my bread, we're all bread to be broken and shared amongst the world as lovely loaves of love. I love that. Thank you, Zano. What a save. My guru says that how does an infinite amount of deeds lead you to an eternal place of heaven or hell? I don't know if there's more to be said, but weirdly enough, I had that exact conversation with my dad as well last night, Sky. And the way I articulated it is my dad said to me, you believe that you can get to heaven by your loving deeds. And I said to my dad, yes. And then he goes, but in that case, you'll have to keep being loving deeds or whatever indefinitely, because at what point will you have loving deeded enough to be worthy of salvation? He asks me, right? Where in the Christian fractal, you basically, like, Jesus takes the burden for you. He stands in, right? So instead of you having to be the most loving version of yourself, he's the one who is already the most loving version of self. So it's already done, right? And I cannot accept that. I'm like, hell no, bro. That's like literally selling yourself off, kind of. Like, I believe it's like a soul selling kind of thing, but I'm not going to get into that fractal right now, and then I articulate to him that the way I see it is not that I have to act a certain amount of good deeds to get into heaven. I believe that what you are supposed to do, and that's again where the articulation of love is true comes in. What you're supposed to do is live in love, right? As much as you can. And I'm not saying that we don't falter. I'm not saying that it's not always easy to stay in that state of love. But if you can live in love, and you live in love for the majority of your life, the place you are going is love, because that is where you have been going, right? It's like you have put in all of this momentum as a direction, not as a bar that needs to be filled, but as a direction that you are choosing to go in, right? Love is true, like north, like a direction for us to head into. And if we head into the direction of love, that is what I believe heaven is when we die, right? And I believe heaven is something that is such a broad word for something so unfathomable, right? For, like, to simplify the complexity of it alone is the fact that I believe every single one of us have a different state of heaven, right? Literally. Like, this, it's not just one place. It's one place, like this is one place, right? This moment we're in is one place, but in the same way that this one moment, one place, it looks different for me than it looks for you, than it's going to look for me tomorrow, heaven is as well. So it's a lot. There's a lot there. There's some storm clouds stepping up to us right now as well. Okay, give us this day our daily bread. Changing my name won't change who you are. I know, Joy Vive, but again, the point for me is growth. That you can't change who you are by changing your name, but you can change who you are by working, right? And it's not like there's something to be fixed, but there are things to do better. And I'm not perfect, right, when it comes to that. I think there's still a lot of growth for me to do too. However, I encourage us to grow, that is. Grow and grow we shall. And I always have, hope on the other side as well. Believe that there is still a possibility for good stuff. Chocolade. My sister is going mustache. I mean, like the The Italians definitely do like their mushrooms in their dishes.
Enjoy.
I'm gonna get myself set up for some kalimbarin. Let me get this. That is my form. I stand in front of you, a human being, in the year 2024. I don't know if I chose to be this. I do know I can choose what to be going forward. So we shall do so. And in this moment, we're going to be musicians. Do I have the gall to call myself a musician? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a rainbow. Oh, geez. You see the rainbow? I'm so rocky. You see the rainbow? Oh, sideways. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, we got rainbowed. Nice. I'll keep the rainbow in the corner. Thank you. Thank you for the good omens, universe. I really appreciate. Hot diggity dang. That's some nice. That's some nice right there. All right. There we go. We had our farm fractal one last time. Oh, love is true. Bless this place. Eternally so. The freaking rainbow is still, look at that rainbow just popping off. Looks like there's an arc being formed, right, between those branches. Energies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I can tell. Is that what's happening here? Is there love being sent? Love is being sent in my comment section? Surely. Surely love is being sent. Let me get this. There's a rainbow on the left. Get a screenshot. Yeah, right. How perfect. Freaking rainbows. Rainbows. Melty, you deserve to be in an environment where you are encouraged and supported. Whoa. Where you are encouraged and supported doing the things that make you happy. The adventures, this adventure, this new life that you will grow is going to be so special. I can tell. I can feel it as well. Thank you. Thank you, Sana, for reminding me and for encouraging me to see it as such. It's going to be beautiful. This is true. We have our final goodbye message, and it goes, have the most compelling day, everyone. You're for realsers. So super duper massively venerated, magnificent, Melt More, and all of you. Oh, so very significantly, conscientiously, attentively, punctuously, worthily, authentically wholesome Disney princess, humanimal critter creatures, ensuring each moment is filled with the love that you have and building your heart muscles to love even more. I see when I close my eyes, just like psychedelic springs. Does that make sense? Imagine if a spring, instead of bursting with water, was bursting with psychedelic. There's another double rainbow. You see the double rainbow in the corner? Maybe a little bit light, right? Yeah. Double rainbowed up. Double the blessings. The universe was like, bro, we heard you had one rainbow. So we sent you double rainbow. The second rainbow isn't as bright, but still. Thank you, universe. That's so nice. I do like double rainbows. Thank you, friends, for joining me. The universe is literally blessing us right now in so many different ways. Like I'm melting. My brain is like, is this real life? And I have to cope with the reality that yes, in fact, love is true, and the universe sees every single one of us and loves us dearly. Look at us, looking as the universe as Pippi, loving her dearly. Yeah, and looking at our little Roxy kitty, loving her. Go and love yourself. Go and love the rainbows. Go and love the trees. Go and love your guineas and daggos. Thank you for loving me. I'll see you friends again tomorrow in a whole new world. I love you. Goodbye, everybody. Until we do this again. Cheers, cheers.